Welcome to Why Not Us podcast. It's your host Ken J. I hope y'all having a beautiful day. And today we have Dana Griffin in the
Dana
building. I said,
Thomas-Griffin.
said, see, I had you see, I was like Dana. We
It's
got
good. It's okay. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so we have Dana Thomas Griffin in the building today, and we will be talking about menopause and midlife crisis.
Yes.
We
Yes.
will be talking about that because it's very important for people to talk about that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
when you think about the word menopause, right?
Hmm.
So, when you think about the menopause or whatever, when I think about menopause, I always think about like people in their 60s and, 50s, 60s, like when I was growing up.
Right.
And it really, menopause can start anytime for real, look like.
Actually, honestly, menopause can start as early as age 30. Believe it or
Okay.
not. Yes, it can. Um, it affects people different ways, a lot of different ways. But let me just back up for a second. You mentioned before we went live about what menopause is.
Yeah.
Do you have that definition that you?
Yeah. I sure do. A natural decline in reproductive hormones when a woman reaches her 40s or 50s.
Hmm.
Menopause is signaled by 12 months since last menstruation cycle. So that's what it says for menopause.
Hmm. And that is an extremely brief definition. It really said nothing. I'm gonna be honest. It said absolutely nothing. Let me tell you something. For every single woman out there, menopause is different. And as far as the midlife crisis goes, yes, men go through midlife crisis also. That's probably a whole different topic in itself. Let me get on this menopause thing. The thing about menopause, like I said, it affect women differently. I started asking questions when I was in my 30s because I had a habit of we could be sitting and it could be wintertime, and all of a sudden I start sweating. It looked like somebody poured a bucket of water on me.
Oh,
Yes, that's how I mean. So I started asking questions, and I asked my mother. Well, my mother was the type. She explained to me that when she went through menopause, she had a few hot flashes, her monthly cycle stopped, and that was it. But you still would have symptoms of, you may have some cramping or this that symptoms of having a menstrual. Okay, fine. Another year or two passed by, and I seem to have gotten worse. So I thought, okay, well, my mama may not be knowing what she's talking. My body is different, so let me ask somebody else. I didn't have to go to the doctor. Well, I started asking older women, and I have ended up finding out that it can start early. Doctors can't do but so much to help you because it's something natural that your body's going to go through, and it's going to affect you emotionally, physically. You know, it. You have moments where this is where the mood swings come in at. So if you're married or you have a partner, it can create a problem. Um, it makes you emotional at the drop of a hat. You know, your emotions can change. You can sit there and all of a sudden you in your feelings and you want to cry. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You just teared up. You having the moment. Then the next minute you want to snap somebody's head off. Okay, that's just the way it is. That's why I say it can cause problems, in a relationship or whatever. Um, it's going to affect you uh, sexually. See, all of a sudden we're live. My phone is blowing up. I don't know what's going on here. Let me, but anyway, let me check this out. But when you go to the doctor, if you go, I advise you to go. If you don't know what's wrong with you, let me tell you something about menopause. They say when you're a monthly stop, and I know I'm getting ready to get real personal with this. It's while you're having, it's years before it stops. You can go through menopause for 10 years and more. Menopause can affect you so much mentally to the fact that I actually had a family member to have a nervous breakdown, and the doctors contributed her breakdown to her menopause because she was so emotionally distraught. It affected her sexually. It's going to either take your nature away from you, or it's going to impound that nature that you're just highly sexed. If there is no in between, um, I was not the one that was highly sexed. So that person in my family, that she took that totally different, and her nature went to her head. I mean, I can say that, and I'm saying it in a light, joking way,
Yeah.
But I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm
But
serious.
hold on, let me ask you a question because I've actually heard people say nature going to your head. Like, say for instance, if someone doesn't have sex, maybe they haven't had sex in like 50 or 20 years, they could say because of that.
Wait a minute. You
Wait a
got me
minute.
with the 50 20 years. But okay.
I ain't mean to make you spit.
Realistically, um, it doesn't take long. If your nature is high and you're actually going through menopause, seriously, from the
Mm.
answers that I've gotten from women, because I did my research, because I didn't know. I felt like I was having a nervous breakdown. I didn't know what was going on with my body. Already, I had health issues. Okay, when they say affect your nature, it's
Okay,
gonna depend on how highly sex you already was. I would think. Was that the question?
hold up. Listen, what I'm saying to you is don't drink no more.
Mm-mm.
Let me ask you the question.
This is my water. I just put it in
Yeah,
the
but
bucket.
look, but I'm saying don't drink because I don't want you to
Oh,
spit
okay, okay,
because I might make you laugh.
okay.
So like older people, you know what I'm saying? It's older people that's not having sex, right?
Hmm.
And so they said that the nature can go to their head because they not having sex.
Right. That's what happened to my aunt. Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. Right.
So
I understand what you're saying, and that's
so
true.
they say with that, with your aunt, did they say nature went to her head?
Hmm. That she was so highly sexed that when this happened, before I finished my sentence, when this happened, and I knew what was going on with my family member, and my mother explained things to me. She did go into detail with, because my mother was one to help her as far as assisting her going to the doctor or whatever. Um, it was, the doctors actually said, because what, how can I put it? I was gonna say the N word. Self pleasure was not enough for her.
You could
So
have
because
said
you
that
get to a
though. You
point,
could
if
have.
you're that highly sexed, you're gonna find self pleasure. I mean, you don't want to.
Hold
I mean,
on.
but
So
it's
hold up.
it's that bad, and to the point that your nature takes over you, and you just have a breaking point.
Hold on. Let me ask
Yeah.
you a question. So are you
Mhm.
saying when a woman of that age and she's highly sexual, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so
The
so hold
older you
on. You know
get,
what?
it doesn't. Let me tell you something. People, I'm 52 years old,
Okay.
and I know you're younger than me, but people that I have talked to 10 years plus older than me
Mhm. Mhm.
are extremely
Mhm.
sexual people.
Mhm.
A lot of these women that I have talked to, men too, they're not married, they may be divorced or they may be widowed.
Okay.
They date or whatever. I don't know if people these days use that word or whatever. They have, they go out, they party, they do whatever. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised at people's sexual activity at that's 60 and up.
So
That's
this,
all I got to say
so
about that.
listen, what I'm trying to say, I understand they listen, it is nothing wrong with having sexual activities when you're
Right,
60 plus or
right,
whatever do what you do.
exactly,
Get that nature up out of you. You feel me?
right,
But
exactly.
for real talk, but what I'm trying to ask you is, are you saying that they are pleasing themselves or they're not pleasing themselves? That's why the nature goes to the head.
If they're not able to release their sexual pressure, it
Okay.
can affect them mentally, and
Oh.
that's what we call a nervous breakdown.
Okay, and so they're not using masturbation to release. They're just sitting in it, right?
Exactly.
So
Some people.
I'm confused
Wait a minute.
because okay, go
What?
ahead.
what okay. I was gonna say some people don't like to indulge in self pleasure.
Okay, got you.
Putting this out there, me being one.
Okay,
Uh, that's not exciting to me. So,
okay,
but people are different with their
mm,
sexual activity,
okay,
and I'm saying everybody, like I said, is different. I mean, it's not like out of 5 people, 4 gonna have a nervous breakdown because they don't have some type of release. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying menopause affect women differently. I have seen documentaries. I'm telling you, I did my research. I have seen documentaries on women actually snapping and killing their husbands, killing them. When I go to the doctor, let me tell you something. When I go to the doctor, and I go very often, I have to go every 3 months for checkups with my primary. And when the doctor actually comes in to sit and he talks to me first, he asks me how am I doing. The second question, and it never fails, he says, "Are you having any, or have you had any, or are you having any thoughts of harming anyone?" And it's funny to me. And I finally, after about 10 times doing it, I asked him. I said, Why you always lead out with those questions?" Because after that, the third question is, have you had any thoughts of harming yourself? And and sometimes I joke with him when he's asking about other people. I'll be like, yeah. Then he'll say, well, you want to kill him? Yeah, pretty much. I could kill him, bury him 10 feet in the ground, go to their funeral. And for every tear their family cry, I cry too. And that was funny to me.
Why I believe that you really
You know what? He was like, you know what, Dana? Why do I just like you? Why do I really think that you might? Well, you asked the question. Stop asking questions to stuff you don't want to know. And then I will crack a joke. I'm going through menopause. I tell people quick, I'm menopausal. So you have to excuse some of the things I say. But then again, I'm to the age where I say what the hell I want to say.
I
You
love
know what
it.
I'm saying?
I
And
love it.
going through menopause, people get on your nerves. You have to decide when you wake up in the morning. A lot of times, you have to decide how your day is going to go. You're going to have to determine, which everybody has to determine how the day is going to go. However, when you have mood swings, when you are used to a lot of people, and then all of a sudden people just get on your nerves.
Yeah.
Whether it's people at your job, whether it's people in your home. I live alone, and I used to tell the doctor, "Well, hell, sometimes I get on my own nerves, so I just decide I'll go take a damn nap." You know what I'm saying? The thing about menopause is nothing is for sure. You never know. I mean,
Mm,
we got hung up just then talking about the mental issue as far as people having breakdowns. That's true.
yeah.
People snap. That's true. And I just feel like people should be aware that I'm not saying give you a pass in your relationship for going off on your significant other, because me personally, I talk shit all the time. I'm not, and I nitpick at stuff. I have learned, okay, you know what, Dana, it ain't always about you. You need to comment on Dana. I've had people tell me, what happened? You left out the room, went to the bathroom, came back, you a total different person. That's just how it affected me. I don't know. I went to the bathroom and come back. Boom.
She
I
frozen.
went to get a bottle of water out of the kitchen. And I come back. I'm totally different. But that's just the way it is. Now another thing is you can take medication. You can take over the counter stuff. Me personally, I was not successful in taking anything as far as was over the counter. My doctor prescribed, stuff, but you don't want to get caught up on, well, I have to pop this pill just to do this. Hell, I already take pills for anxiety, you know, pills for depression, and then here you go with menopause. Okay. And then um menopause does make you depressed. You get into a mood where you don't want to see nobody, you don't want to talk to anybody, and then the next few minutes, okay, let me get up and shower. It's pretty outside. Let me go ahead. What I mean? It's just gonna affect people differently, and I just feel like people need to do their research and realize that menopause is a serious thing. I when I mentioned it to you, I was serious. I want to talk about this because no one told me. I had to ask questions. I don't know the generation I'm considered Generation X, and the generation before me, I don't know what they're considered, but I've asked loads. They they don't tell you stuff unless you ask. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
want to know. I have sisters that are older than me. We don't talk about stuff like this. I need some answers. I asked one of my sisters about menopause, and she was like, "Oh, I went through that, and yeah, them hot flashes. We was having hot flashes at the same time." But she was so always mild, meek, and calm. And I asked her one day, I said, and then her hair ain't even turning gray. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I love that color you put. It stays. That gray don't never come through. She said, "I don't put color in my hair." So I had offended her then. That's why I said, "Well, hell, since I already done opened the door, let me ask her about, because I know she had a flashes." And I said, "How are you so meek and mild and calm?" She said, "I don't know." She said, "People go through menopause different." That's what I had to understand. I had another sister that was like me. She was spastic. She'd go off. She talked, and I told her one day, I said, "You cuss more than I ain't never heard you cuss." Like, she said, "I don't know what's going on." She said, this just me. I just say what I want. So I learned then. That's two different sisters going through it two different ways. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And then here come me, the baby in the family. I'm already spoiled pretty much. If I whine, I pretty much will get what I want. And then I'm going through menopause and other stuff. Yeah, you know. But I don't know. I just feel like people should know. And then the midlife crisis thing. Oh my
Man,
goodness.
hold on. What's the age?
You
What
know
is the
what?
age of a midlife crisis? Like, you can have a midlife crisis. Like,
Starting in your 40s, in my opinion. My
so
my the people know me and my family. I'm gonna say, well, I'm just gonna say a family member went through. I asked them. I said, "This has got to be what they call a midlife crisis." They was like, "You know what? I don't need a vehicle, but I saw something, and it's always been my dream vehicle, and I'm gonna go get it, and I don't care what my spouse says, and blah 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 blah." Okay, but this is my toy. You don't even drive this every day. I get it. I get it. They went through that, and then their spouse went through something similar, and men and women both have a midlife crisis because I'm having one right now. I can laugh at it, but I'm having a midlife crisis. Number one, I don't know what to do with myself. Number two, I got some decisions on what I want to do with myself. And number three, when I make that decision on what I want to do, it's gonna be like boom. That's a midlife crisis. You know what I'm saying? You only live once. I'm to the point where, you know, I gotta make myself happy. So that's a midlife crisis. Plus menopause, that's not a good mix. But it is what it is.
yeah,
It is
but
what it is.
midlife crisis. When I think about midlife crisis, I think about nervous breakdowns. I
Mhm.
think about just really coming to the realization that you on the other side of the hill.
That's interesting that you should say that because I'm wondering what is considered the other side of the hill.
The other side of the hill is like, you know how you started, when you was younger.
I mean, age wise.
I don't know, but that's what I think. I
You
think
know what?
sometimes it's awakenings too. I think it's
Mhm.
different parts of your soul and your spirit being aware of things too as
Right.
well. And I think it's like that. You figuring out what you want to do. You go into another phase of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you trying to figure it out. You know?
Well, one thing I did realize it. Well, it didn't hit me hard. It hit me, and I had to understand. Okay, Dana, this is life. We had a family gathering. I had
Mm.
a cousin who got a promotion in the military. He's in the Navy, and all the family got together. We had a family gathering, and I was sitting and I kept looking around, and the children that were playing were my, I guess, my nieces and nephews' children, and it made me be. I'm Aunt Dana, but I'm great Aunt Dana. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the generation where I'm the older generation to them. You feel me? But and I thought about the age that my nieces and nephews are now. When we had the family gatherings, that's the age I was, and that we got together, and that was my mom, my aunts. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The
Mm-hmm.
family thing. So I realized back here a few months ago when we had that gathering that I'm the generation that's considered over the hill. They look at me as like, oh,
Oh
that,
yeah, cause
you
when you
know what
hit
I'm saying?
40, cause you remember like when you hit 40, that's when it's cause you remember like when y'all turn 40, Lordy 40. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Lord, Dana
And
Ford.
then somebody, cause I remember my mama having a cake that said that or something. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm,
saying? Cause I ate a piece of her cake,
mm-hmm.
but that's neither here or there. But you feel me? So it's like when you hit 40, that's when you go over the hill, or is it
That's
when?
when I feel like late 30s now, late 30s.
Wait a
Well,
minute, late 30s. What?
you, it's a difference when you, do you not notice a difference when you
Hold
walk up
up. Wait a
steps?
minute.
Do you not feel a little ache or pain in that shoulder? And or you stretched and yawned and something popped and you be like, ooh, and it's a little catch in your back. You never noticed
Yeah,
that?
I woke up this morning with you know, a couple aches, and I told babe like, "Oh, my back hurts." She was like, "You need to stretch," but yeah.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's the middle age thing.
So you saying that I'm in the middle midlife crisis?
No, I'm not saying you're in the midlife crisis. I'm saying you're in the middle age. I'm playing with you. You young girl. Shit.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? Because
When you're younger and you look at people, I always thought, okay, that my life was going to change when I got in my 60s, mid to late 60s, honestly. So for my body to go through the menopause thing and the midlife crisis, which is just life itself, to me, I didn't realize that the people I thought was going through that at their later age actually was going through it earlier than I thought. Like my mom. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, but
I didn't realize.
they just didn't talk about it.
Right, right. They just didn't talk about it.
Yeah, they just
They
didn't
didn't
talk
talk
about
about
it.
it. They didn't leave no info. I mean,
It was like secretive. Like it
right,
was like, yo, you got to handle it on your own.
exactly. Because
If you
that was something that was private. Because for us to be sitting here now
yeah.
talking openly about that, oh no, that
Mm-hmm.
was nothing. That was, and that just something else popped in my head. I'm gonna have to, we'll get together on that one after we get off this live for another live. But
All right.
yeah, see, things where you didn't talk about when how long your menstrual has stopped. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going through, but
I
you
might be
didn't
going
talk
through
about that. You
menopause.
didn't talk about that, huh?
I said I might be going through menopause.
Well, you know, there are
Like,
symptoms and there are small, slight symptoms. Like I said, the mood swing thing. Sometimes you just break out in sweat.
So what about
Hell,
if your
sometimes
period?
you can just get cold.
So how about if your so you have what is that called? Cold flashes?
I don't know. I know you
Man,
can't just
guess
get
what?
cold.
Go ahead and put it on a t-shirt, cold flashes.
Mm.
But look, real talk though. Like, how about if your period is like haven't been on in 6 months, right? And boom, it come on. Cause you
Oh yeah,
gotta
you're going
take
to.
hold on,
That's that.
because you gotta take hormone pills in order to clear, you know, the lining. You feel me? So
Okay, let me say this because I understand. I feel you, and I know if there are guys. See, I can't see if anybody's watching.
oh yeah, they over here actually having a whole conversation. Like
Okay.
somebody said full blown arthritis. You know, when you said about the knees, and then
Yeah,
Gail Jones said, "Tell it, cuz I love the both." This is what she said. Read that. Look what she wrote.
I can't. I can't see any
You can't
comment.
see it right here on the
Uh-uh. Do I hit the chat button? Let me see. No
yeah. Do you don't see
comment.
nothing?
Oh, I see now, but I can't see you. Okay.
Oh, that's cool. But do you see the comments?
Yeah, I
Like,
do. Okay. Okay.
yeah. So you know,
Okay.
people are interacting. You know what I'm
Yeah. Okay.
saying?
Oh, okay. Then I got new. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
why mine is like that, but anyway.
But
But
yeah.
I probably have to figure out how to do whatever. See the chat and stuff with the camera. But anyway, what were we saying? Because I was sure was getting ready to say something about something. Okay.
We was just having a conversation about like me and menopause, but I don't think
Oh.
well, I'm not going through menopause. You know, I got other medical conditions and
Mhm.
things of that nature. So I have
Well, just like what,
a
just like what
regular
you.
period. So you know, we
Yeah.
having a how y'all doing over, you know, how everybody that's listening, we just having real conversations. Um, we're talking about menopause and we're talking about midlife crisis. And Dana, you know, she's going through
Mm-mm-mm.
menopause right now, and
Yep.
I'm just going through. I'm just I'm just going. I'm just yeah. Go ahead, Dana.
but but yeah, we was talking about the menstrual thing
mm,
that happens. You know, you go months and don't have one, then something will spot. And like I said, this is actually a personal thing and a personal conversation for me because
yeah.
I went when I finally stopped with my cycle. You talking about somebody happy? I have been miserable since the day I started. I started at age 11, and my mother was not in town. My mother was going on a business trip, and I had to tell my dad. But me and my dad were real tight. Don't get me wrong, and he understood because you don't think you 11. I'm 11 years old. I got to tell my dad that my mother never had that talk with me,
Mm,
unfortunately. So ladies, have that talk with your daughters. I know more things are more open now, but I guess she just figured it wasn't time. I don't know, but then they teach you about your menstrual in school when you're in sixth grade. Well, hell, I had already had mine a year before then. But anyway, when I finally did stop, I was happy. I was happy because I all my life had problems with it. Then after a year and 4 months of not having it, here it goes again. So I'm in the process now of which you know, of course, I went to the doctor because nobody said it would pop back on like that. And so he was like, that's how women get caught up in menopause and get pregnant. Yeah, because as long as you have a menstrual cycle, you can get pregnant. Yeah, period, point blank. So, anyway, anywho, um, so I'm getting ready to, go in the hospital, have a little surgery, take care of some things, and but it came up with a few other issues, you know, um, as to why that did happen. So I guess I'm trying to say if that is happening, even if you go like you're young, even if you went a few months didn't have something and then it pop back on, go get that checked out because you never know. Not that I'm saying if you wait too long, something's gonna develop. I'm just saying if it is abnormal, technically you're supposed to do that every single month when it starts skipping or doing something like that, yeah, raise a little concern.
yeah, I most
Go see your
definitely.
doctor, something.
Yeah, I most
Get your
definitely did.
get your annual checkups that you're supposed to get. Get that pap smear done. Get this, get that. hopefully you ladies out there don't feel uncomfortable getting your past. I always did. I always felt like I was violated. I don't I don't know why, but
Yeah.
it's just me. I think things differently, but yeah, the menopause thing and the midlife crisis thing, it comes on you slowly but surely. To me, they interact with each other. The midlife crisis thing is just you the way you're dealing with life in general. All of a sudden, one day you might decide, well, I don't like what's going on. Let me make this change, and the change may be, you know, to buy a big ticket item. The change people will notice a little change in you, slightly and stuff. For what I've seen with midlife crisis, people tend to spend a little more money. you know, I did. I am. I'm in the process of doing some shit. You know, but it is what it is. And the menopause thing, that's just something that's natural. And it mainly affects, your hormones. Which is going to be your emotions. It's going to affect you physically, emotionally, and mentally. That's just to sum it all up. Like I said, when I had you to read the definition of what menopause was. Like I said, it's very vague. That's not telling you the truth.
But
That's just words put together to make a sentence.
so, but they also it also has a lot. It's also talking about like the different treatments. It talk about um you usually can self-diagnose yourself. Like common symptoms include hot flashes and vaginal dryness. There also may be sleep disturbances. The
Mm-hmm.
combination of these symptoms can cause anxiety or depression.
Yeah.
And so they also hold on, and they also said people may experience like pain circumstances can occur during sexual intercourse, whole body fatigue, night sweats, hot flashes or sweating, sleep, early awakening or insomnia, menstrual absent of menstrual or regular period,
Mm-hmm.
dryness or loss of scalp hair, anxiety. Yeah, all you saying dry skin, being irritated, moodiness, reduced sex drive, or vaginal dryness. So, when that happens, like like for the vaginal dryness, right? So they give uh like lube and stuff, right? The
Mm-hmm.
doctors.
Yeah. They can prescribe you something for your vaginal dryness. Um, Personally, I never asked.
Yeah.
I always said I was gonna ask for this, ask for that, whatever. But I never did.
Okay.
It there are several different lubricants and things like that, but you do experience dryness. I was speaking to a young lady. She's a little older than me, and she was. That's the conversation we had, and she was going to have. It's a surgery that she was going to have. I I don't know what the surgery is called, but there is something that females can do surgically to. But that's somebody who want to do all that and got some money, because that ain't
Hold
nothing you
on,
would
hold
want. You know
on.
what I'm saying?
So,
But I
so
can get the information and we can have another conversation about it. It's
yeah,
no
because
problem.
look, when I think about vaginal dryness, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking about chafed. You know how something is chafed? Is
Yes.
that what they're meaning? Like, are
Yes.
you know what I'm
When
saying?
you
Like
have
they're
okay, I don't know what the comments are saying right now, but
they're
I'm just
nobody saying that.
okay.
It's just me and you talking.
Okay. I'm
I
just gonna say
mean,
this.
we can have a conversation. We
I'm gonna say this.
grown.
When a lot of times you can take care of the vaginal dryness yourself
Okay.
by simply using any type of, I guess, an oil or a Vaseline.
Okay.
If you're gonna have sex and you know you're experiencing your dryness, first of all, let your partner know what's going on, because when you keep your mouth closed about certain things that you know are personal and private, you need to share with your partner, because they're going to go through this with you. Okay, well, we're going to need a lubricant. So then I would think that you would when you try a lubricant, if that doesn't work for you, next time try something different. But that vaginal dryness, it does occur. It's well, I'm not gonna say it's going to occur, but yes, I did experience it. But I had so much other stuff going on with me
Mm-hmm.
medically that that was not a concern for me.
Mm-hmm.
However, the lady that I know of, it was a big concern for her because she was um
Sexually
I'm not
active?
gonna say I want to say extremely sexually
Oh,
active,
okay.
but and yeah, well, yeah, she was sexually active, is sexually active, and that was a problem for her. So to her, she needed to fix that.
Okay.
So to her, it. I'm trying to think. Did she have it done? Oh yeah, yeah. And she
So what they
also
release a sweat gland or
I
something?
don't know. I don't know.
We gotta
But
have another
but now that
conversation
we're talking about
because
it,
yeah.
I would love to know. You know,
I would love to get her up here and talk about
mhm.
it.
I'm gonna ask her. She may be a little shy, but I would
Girl.
love for her to talk about it because that was important enough to her because she mentioned it all the time. And finally, she said, "You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna." She said, I'm gonna do it." So my thing, I never asked, "Well, does insurance pay for that?" Or does this, or whatever. But yeah, she did take care of that. But and she's older than me,
Okay.
and to her that mattered. So, like I said, when you go through things, changes with your body, everybody's different. Doctors can say one thing, and it's I mean, use common sense. I know, like I said, I watch documentaries. People snap. I watched a documentary where this lady killed her husband. I've watched a documentary on people killing their kids. They're going through this, and it's chalked up the menopause. And yeah, you know what? It's an excuse, but you can actually get out. I mean, people commit crimes. It's crazy going through menopause. However, um, when it affects your body, like I said, we ended up talking about dryness. Yeah, I do know it does cause this dryness. There are different steps you can take, but a lubricant, just to me, if you know you're dry and your partner's doing whatever and you don't,
Yeah.
then you gotta talk to your partner too. Now, I'm telling you because I just realized you got I just some thoughts came in my head. You gotta talk to your partner. But yeah, a lubricant. Just use a lubricant. But the doctors can prescribe because you know what? Sometimes being that people's bodies are so different, sometimes it may take a doctor to prescribe something for you like that so that you can reach that particular feeling you want to reach because over the counter measures may not be enough.
Mm.
You
Okay.
know, it's going to depend on your body because, like you said, dryness, you think of chafing. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah,
understand that.
so that's what I think about, like, you
And
know what I'm
that hurt.
saying?
That
Yeah,
already
so that's
hurt.
what I'm thinking, cause that's what I'm thinking about when I had hear like vaginal dryness, but there's
Right,
actually talking about it can't, what I'm saying, do what it's supposed to do.
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's desert, right? Type vibe. Okay. Cause I had to ask because of really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but look, this let me just say, this platform is for every conversation, to educate, to enlighten. This nothing is off limits unless it's you know. But this is very important because people don't have this conversation.
Right,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? About menopause, about midlife crisis. They don't really have a conversation about none because everybody just want to be private and keep things
Hmm.
in. But people really need to have conversations because you might be going through something. Somebody might be going through something. Boom, they went to the emergency. They went to the doctor. Now you going to the doctor because of what you just heard, those symptoms.
Hmm.
So it could save your life.
Exactly,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So, but like with me, like I'm talking about me, I did go to I do have a regular periods. I've been having a regular period since I was 20. So I have, fibroids. I have fibroids. They check my they use the transvaginal
Um,
they did that so they could check your ovaries and your uterus, because when you at the doctor office, all they really is doing is checking your cervix.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you go doing that, of course you want to make sure everything's good. But sometimes, it could be your weight, you know what I'm saying? Your weight going up and down. It could be hormones. It could just be different things. But it's very important for you to go to your OBGYN, ladies.
Yeah,
Like, it's very important. Do not play with your body. Take your body serious. Listen to your body, because your body is letting you know what's going on. You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what you need to go check your private parts out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not checking your private parts out, like you got to check it out. You got to check her out.
Most definitely.
Yes, you got to take care of yourself,
Exactly.
It's just all about being open, having a conversation, asking questions,
Mm-hmm.
not feeling embarrassed, because we're both women.
Mm-hmm.
You're experiencing, I'm learning from you, you're learning from me, and
Exactly.
we're just learning, Dana.
Exactly. Exactly. And let me just add, also, um, men need to understand what a female goes through with her body also. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So talk to your mate and let them know, because I know it causes problems in the relationship. You know, talk to whoever your mate is, whatever man, man, woman, whatever. But men need to also understand, because they'll say they do, but they don't. They don't understand. They don't realize, and then like I said, just talk to your mate. That's all I can say. I mean, that's very important. When females, when you're going through things, yes, it's private, but sometimes you got to open up, because it just may save your relationship. It just might help your partner understand. Oh, okay, well, these mood swings are gonna be normal, because you seen people that's been married for 20 and 30 and 40. I know somebody that was married. It ain't funny, but I just think about it now, because I used to, one of my clients, after 49 years, her husband wanted a divorce.
Ooh, a lot. That's
So
happening now though. It's a
yeah,
lot of people being together for like 30 years.
I'm like, 49 years, you better
Yeah,
get your ass in the other room. I ain't
man,
selling shit. We
listen.
ain't about nothing.
It ain't no
Yeah,
divorce. Once I
go
get married, we ain't divorcing.
ahead. But this is my thing. But, and she said she realized that the problem started with her, because he went
Okay.
out, you know, being a man, having needs, had, affairs,
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it caused arguments, it caused fussing and fighting and this and this
So
and
she
this.
ain't tell him?
And she said, all I had to do was explain what I was going through. She said that after she analyzed the situation, after it was too late, and she analyzed the situation, it all started with her having mood swings, didn't want to pleasure her husband, didn't want to do this. Oh, really?
But at the end of the day, your husband's supposed to still be loyal no matter what your wife going through, even if she didn't tell what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel. Like, your wife might be going, it's a
That's
woman.
let me tell you something. That's a whole different conversation. No, no, I'm not gonna say that. Go ahead. What you was gonna say? I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
Go
He
ahead.
he could have been understanding, but like I said, she didn't. If you have, keep in mind, the person that
Mm,
told me this probably 20 years ago.
okay.
So they're actually, they have actually, both of them are deceased now.
Oh,
So back then in her generation,
okay.
that's not a conversation you would have with your husband. And back then in her generation, even now, a man's gonna do what a man's gonna do, or what he wants to do. So if they don't, if they're not happy at home in that area, they're gonna go out anyway.
Man,
That
listen, Dana.
whole nother
They
conversation. I'm
listen.
telling
They
you, I can tell you.
might listen. It might be, it's some faithful people out here, right? So if you know your wife, you know what I'm saying, you just gonna have to do what you gotta do until your wife is comfortable enough to have a conversation with you. Like, so you telling me your wife moody. So if you really in tune to your wife, you should understand that things are going on with her body, right?
They should understand. That's
Naturally,
the
they
key
should know
word.
that, like, bruh, that's your wife, bruh.
And at the same time, a woman needs to realize that her man can go through some stuff too. Because my thing when I started with my menstrual, my thing was, well, what do boys do? Do they get anything? You know what I'm saying? Because the reality didn't hit me until I was probably, well, I was 11 when I started, but when I was 13, I realized that, oh, they I thought people had lied to me that you're gonna do this the rest of your life. Well, to a certain age,
Mhm.
because I was traumatized, but I don't know why I started talking about that. My mind went there. What were we saying? Because I don't know why my mind went there.
I have no idea,
I
but
was
I
gonna
was
build
just.
up a lead to something. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know now.
Dana, listen. Listen. Me and Dana will be back. This
Yes.
this gonna be a series. We gonna do
Yeah.
this. Like, just have a conversation. And
Hmm.
if y'all want to join having a conversation, ladies out there, or men that might be going to midlife crisis,
Hmm.
anybody that want to just have a conversation,
Hmm.
hey, holla at
And
us.
you know
Like,
what? I honestly want I want more men to indulge in this because I have some questions for men. I'm gonna see if we can find a male to join us.
okay,
Maybe
okay,
two, one my age and up, and one your age or younger.
okay,
Let's
okay,
do that. I'm gonna look and you look, and because I have questions. I I have questions. I have relationship questions.
okay.
I do because,
Oh,
like I said, the menopause thing and the midlife crisis thing, that to me, it by it affecting if you are in a relationship, no matter what relationship you're in, whether it's no relationship starts out bad because in order for you to get into that relationship, you liked each other somewhere. You
mm-hmm.
feel me? And I just feel like women, by us going through the menopause thing, and both men and women going through and are going to go through the midlife crisis thing, it all ties in. It's all about your mental.
Yeah,
And sometimes we don't think clearly. As we get older, we realize, oh, let me think before I speak, or oh, let me think before I react, because all that has to do with your mental. And to me, all that ties into, it's just life. And like I said, I would love to have a conversation with a man and ask certain questions.
hey,
I,
listen,
I,
that's
I
what we gonna do.
yeah,
You
I
want to
would
have a
love to do that.
conversation with somebody my age, a man my age, and a man older,
Hmm.
so we can get that.
Yeah,
People will be interested to have a conversation. You can
yeah,
ask them what you want to ask them.
yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something. That's one thing I miss about my dad. My dad and I were real open with each other with things we talked about, and I could ask him anything. I mean anything. And that's one thing I miss about him. And I would love to have a man to just ask questions and talk to. Whether they're private, personal questions or just regular everyday something I want to know.
Hey, hey,
I'm curious. The older I get, the more I'm curious I am. I just want to know. I have life questions. You know what I'm saying? I have questions about life, and I just want to have a conversation and understand some things. You know what I'm saying? Just
hmm I
just curious,
understand. That'll be,
curiosity.
hey,
Okay.
that's gonna be a good conversation. Like,
Hmm.
that would be a very good conversation just to see, people having a conversation. Like, you got questions, he might have questions.
Right.
Just be questions. It's good
Yeah.
to have. We could name it. We got questions.
Okay.
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 Cause I like to
Yeah.
ask a lot of questions
Yeah.
myself, Dana.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
Okay.
So man,
Let's see
this
if
was
we
dope
can't get
too.
that done. We want to try to do. We're gonna do this like weekly anyway, right?
Yeah, so we
Okay.
we could try to get it done like next week, like get it
Okay.
done, like try to figure it out.
Right.
We could get
Yeah.
it done. You already know. Like
Okay.
I just do what I do.
Okay.
Ask people questions like, "Would you like to come on and
Hmm.
see?"
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do that.
Good. Good. I would
So you know the
love to do that.
vibes.
Interesting.
That's gonna be very interesting.
Hmm.
Like,
Yep.
whoo,
Yes.
that's gonna be so interesting. And I'm gonna be just sitting there. Just call me Baby Oprah because I'm just sitting there.
Yep. I'm interested. I want to know. I want.
Yeah, but that's good that you want to know. Ask. That's what I like.
Yep.
I like people that's gonna be their most
Yep.
comfortable selves,
Yep.
most authentic selves. That's
Hmm.
what it's about. Not walking on eggshells, not worrying about
Exactly.
if I should say this or say it. Say what you want to say.
Exactly.
You already thinking it, say it.
Hmm.
This is what this platform is for. Just
Exactly.
we talking about whatever. Everybody welcome. He, she, they,
Hmm.
him, it don't
Yeah. Let's
matter.
do it. Let's do this. Let's do
Yes,
this.
that's on
Yes.
me.
Let's
That's on me.
talk.
Yo, I know you gonna ask some questions.
Yes. Let's have a conversation. That's
I know.
exactly what it's. That's
Hey,
those
hey, you
exactly.
know what? And if you know what I'm saying, if they want to go live, we can go live. You feel
Hmm.
me? Go live with it, have people in the audience, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They engaging in that, you know what I'm saying? It'll
Hmm.
be interesting because a lot of people got questions. A lot of
Right.
women have questions to ask. A lot of men have questions to ask.
Exactly.
Boom.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and then you can also get other females up here too.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? To ask questions to make it like that'll be dope.
Hmm.
That's gonna be dope. We gonna figure
Yeah.
it out, Dana.
Oh yeah. We're gonna figure it out. We got this.
Most definitely. Listen, once again, now this episode will be dropping um as soon as as soon as I get off this, I'm gonna upload it and it's gonna be on Apple, it's gonna be on Spotify, it's gonna be on Anchor, and it's going to be on Google Podcast. So once again, this is Ken J, and you see Dana, and this is Menopause and Midlife Crisis, and we'll be back. We gonna
Yeah.
be back. So
Let's have a conversation. Exactly.
yes, it's the energy for me.